Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your March 2017 mid-month readings. This is the last one, Gemini, and I will begin with you, Gemini, for the April 2017 general readings. I know that you sometimes tend to be in the last half of the readings. I do, so I'll start with you in a couple of weeks for the April readings. As always, a note of gratitude for your continued support and feedback and comments. Very welcome and always appreciated. Thank you so much. And thank you to my regular clients as well for allowing me to be a part of your lives moving forward and for the consistent feedback you give on how our readings continue to play out in your lives. And to everyone who keeps me so busy with personal one-on-one readings. And if any of you are interested in a one-on-one reading with me and you haven't read with me before, you can click on that little about or description button on my YouTube channel's homepage. That'll give you a little more information and detail and my email address. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. Current turnaround time for personal readings is 1 to 2 weeks, but since I do readings full time, 6 days a week, I'm usually able to get back with you pretty quickly and schedule a reading almost always within a 2-week time span. Love compatibility, romance readings, career work and finance, specific question readings, a wide variety of them recorded or live. If you're interested, send me an email and we'll go from there. I would be delighted to work with you. Please remember that these are general readings and there's many of you watching, so of course they're not going to mean the same things to the same degree and intensity for everyone watching. If this is your primary sun sign and it doesn't resonate with you, watch your rising and your moon sign as well. It may play out a little more predictably for you. And watching all three just gives you additional insight in what's going on in your lives anyway. So if you know them, try to watch sun, moon, and rising. I continue to use the Gilded Tarot, drawing the customary 8 cards with an additional 9th card from the bottom of the deck representing your overall energy and advice for the next couple of weeks. So let's get right into this. This reading is for Gemini for March 2017 mid-month. Gemini, March 2017 mid-month. And because you are the last mid-month sign I'm doing, Gemini, I will begin with you guys in a couple of weeks for the April 2017 general readings. Gemini, the air sign of Gemini, Gemini the twins for March 2017 mid-month. Okay, Gemini, we begin with the Knight of Wands, followed by the Two of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, followed by the Hierophant, the Four of Wands, followed by the Lovers, and the Hanging Man, followed by the Seven of Pentacles. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and advice is the World. Let's just take a quick look, Gemini. So Gemini, it looks like you're considering, it looks like number one, things are going pretty well for a lot of you, and you're considering actually taking something that you've been investing in that looks pretty good already and taking it to another level, a deeper level of commitment. For some of you, this is going to be a relationship. And when I say relationship, it could represent a love romance based relationship. It could be a relationship of a different kind. This could also be job, work, and career for some of you as well. A path that, again, looks to have been pretty satisfactory and doing pretty well so far. But you're considering doing more, taking it further. So it could be a particular job, it could be a course of learning or a project of some kind. The majority of the energy here is fire and earth. But of course, because there's so many of you watching, the story is going to play out differently. So let's begin. We start with the Knight of Wands, followed by the Two of Wands. So Wands is fire energy. That's the element which governs this suit. And the energy of this suit is very fiery, dynamic, fluid, action-oriented. It is often about creating and manifesting and building things, change, movement, action, power. Knights are the bringers of the tarot. They are the deliverers. So typically, when you see knights, they often represent an offer or an opportunity, something being brought to you, or you bringing something to someone else. But more often, it's an something an opportunity coming into you. And it can knights can also represent the speed at which a situation moves. This is the fastest of all four of the knights because he's governed by fire. This could also represent the individual who's in this with you, a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or someone who strongly manifests the character traits of the Knight of Wands. More mature and evolved in the page energy, but still kind of spontaneous and impulsive. So this would be an offer, an opportunity, something coming in, or something that you're considering, which has a lot of creative, passionate energy in it. And it's also very fast moving, very much spontaneous, impulsive energy. It could represent a fire sign that you're involved with in a project, in a business, or in a personal relationship of some kind as well. But again, it feels very fast moving that that this opportunity or offer is either being presented to you or you are presenting this offer or opportunity to somebody else. But I feel like it's right now it's more mental. It hasn't been for some of you, it could be a choice that's in front of you to make. But I think for a lot of you, I feel like this is consideration energy. You're considering moving forward, and it feels very exciting. Uh, I feel like for those of you who are considering taking something to another level, you may be wanting to move very quickly on it, or the opportunities being presented to you with a timeline attached to it, or wanting to move on it very quickly. Again, whether that's relationship or a project, it could also be. Uh, I'm hearing that somebody is getting it's a job or career path opportunity you may have been presented. Uh, I feel like there's somebody out there who's watching this who's already in a job on a career path. You're already working a job. I feel that's been pretty good for you, and it feels like there's another job opportunity in front of you. It could be one that it could be that you've been contacted by somebody else. Feels very specific to somebody watching. You already have a job. You're pretty happy in that job, or it's done pretty well by you. But there's another opportunity or offer that's in front of you that looks really, really good. But I feel like it has a timeline attached to it, and you're trying to make the decision whether you stay in the established job or career path that you're on, or you take this other opportunity because it feels like there's only a short window of opportunity for somebody out there who's watching this that this relates to. I feel like there's a short window of opportunity for you to be able to take this and move on it. Now, it has something to do with your long-term future and planning as well. So you want to make sure that you're careful in considering it before you make any final moves or set anything into motion. That Knight of Wands is paired with the Two of Wands, which is all about long-term thinking and planning, kind of the big picture. It represents being at a crossroads and needing to make a decision. Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I choose this path? Do I choose that path? And the key to choosing the right one is in long-term thinking and planning. Regarding whatever this is, whether it's job, career path for some of you, a business opportunity, or whether it's taking a relationship to another deeper, more committed level, getting engaged, getting married, moving in together. You need to, before you set anything into motion, because there's a sense of urgency attached to this for a lot of you. First, be very clear in your mind. What is your long-term goal? What's the big picture here? Where do you ultimately want to end up? Because that will help you choose the path. It will help make the path more apparent to you. So try not to, the advice is not to rush into this too quickly. And for some of you, this may be moving and relocating as well. So next to that, we have the Ace of Pentacles, that tangible new beginning, paired with the Hierophant. So Pentacles is earth energy, which is the element that governs the suit of Pentacles. And the energy of this suit usually manifests itself in things attached to our earthly material world, things like money, finances, property, real estate, job, etc., things we can see and touch and feel. Aces represent the number one, potential, promise, the seeds of something, which if you plant them and nurture them and take care of them and allow them to grow to their full potential, will be quite beneficial and prosperous for you. So the Ace of Pentacles represents a tangible new beginning, a beginning that you can actually see. It's concrete. This card can represent, it often comes up for moving, relocating, starting a new job. It's a tangible new beginning. Sometimes the Ace of Pentacles can also represent a sum of money or earthly resources coming in to help propel you on a new path as well. So for some of you, this offer or opportunity in front of you is actually moving. You may have the opportunity to move or to relocate. But again, the whole key is in long-term future and long-term planning. Does this offer or opportunity still, if you take this, does this path still lead to what your big picture goal is, where you eventually want to end up? So that Ace of Pentacles is paired with the Hierophant, major arcana card, significant, profound energies. The Hierophant is about convention, tradition, walking the prescribed path. Traditional relationships. It can represent organized religion, established businesses, large corporations. It can represent taking something to another level of commitment, taking the next step, because you're on a path where there's certain prescribed steps to follow. It's about belonging to, it can be about belonging to a large group of people, or just doing things in the traditional conventional way. So paired with the Ace of Pentacles, whatever this offer or opportunity is, I feel like if you make the decision, if you choose this path, if you make this decision to take something further, it will actually set you on a path that has certain prescribed steps to follow, and that will be so. So just make sure to carefully weigh everything out, and make sure it's what you really want before you set anything to motion. For example, in love and relationship, because that's what this is going to be for some of you. We also have the Four of Wands. The Hierophant can represent marriage. The Four of Wands can represent a celebratory event too. For relationship, make sure that both of you are kind of on the same page. It feels like engagement, moving in together, perhaps buying your first home. Again, because there's so many of you watching, it's going to be career and job project for some of you and relationship for others. But it looks like the chance to start something new. But I feel like if you make the decision to start something new, you're going to lock yourself into that path. Either you're going to continue to see how it plays out moving forward, or the situation itself will end, particularly in relationships. So again, it's about where you want to end up ultimately, and does this making this choice propel you closer towards your ultimate goal? Now, next to that, we have the Four of Wands paired with the Lovers. So this is some pretty strong relationship energy here as well. The Four of Wands is a celebratory card. It can point to an actual party, a celebration, a get together, marriage, wedding, anniversary, the birth of a baby. Again, for some of you, it could be moving, relocating, celebrating that. I think there's a portion of you out there watching this that are considering, within a relationship, you're considering very strongly taking this to the next level. For some of you, that's going to be moving in together. Some of you, that's going to be proposing, or the actual marriage itself. For some of you, it may be taking your business in another direction. But there's an attachment to home and family with this card as well, and there's very much a we energy in terms of celebrating the culmination of a body of work or the efforts of something or the history of a relationship to date. There's an energy of celebrating that with other people. And the Four of Wands is also the happy surprise card too. Often when this card comes up, it represents some kind of unexpected energy or event happening that actually elevates something ordinary into the next level, and it's often attached to an event of some kind. So it could represent a get together or a party that you go to or that you're planning, and something actually happens there to elevate it. You meet the love of your life there, or you make the best business contact of your career there. There's some kind of unexpected happy surprise energy, and I feel like it is coming. And it can also represent a situation actually working out better than you could anticipate because there's something unexpected coming that's positive. But it is also one of the traditional marriage and wedding cards as well, as is the Hierophant. So some of you are distinctively considering taking that relationship to the next level, whatever that next level means for the two of you, or your partner has brought this offer or opportunity to you. And again, it feels like there's a sense of urgency or wanting to move on it quite quickly, but just be careful because it looks like this is a path which looks very nice, but once you start it, you're kind of make sure that you're really committed before you actually start it because it's going to affect more than just you. That Four of Wands is attached with the lovers card, which is like the soulmate card. It speaks of a karmic connection, a karmic thread, kind of a meant to be relationship that's very connective, very passionate. It also represents choice, making a choice. In fact, in the early tarot decks, this was not called the Lover's card, it was called the Choice, and it showed a man standing in front of two women. The implication being that you need to make a major decision that's going to affect not just your life, but the life of your partner or of other people that are involved as well. Needing to make a major decision. And attached to the Four of Wands, again, engagement, marriage, moving in together, buying your first home. For some of you, this is not going to be relationship. This is job, career, or business opportunities as well. And for some of you, it's Yeah, for some of you, it's a job offer that's come in, but you're already in a job that's established that's doing pretty well for you. The same with relationships, too. The reason that you're at this point in the relationship of considering making this offer, your partner has made this offer to you, it looks like you're in a really good place. And because it's going so well, you're considering taking it another step. Your overall energy is the World card, which is a card of completion, reaching a milestone and kind of taking a look at everything. It looks like you want to take something further. You have an opportunity to go deeper, to take something further, Gemini. But again, there needs to be some time taken. I feel like one side of this is wanting to rush this, but the advice that I'm getting is to weigh things out very carefully because for some reason, once you start this path, you're not going to be able to come back from it unless you dump the situation or end the relationship entirely. Like for those of you for whom it's a job situation, if you leave your current job to take this opportunity and it doesn't work out for you, you're not going to be able to go back to your former job or former position. So consider carefully. And that's kind of where we end too, at or towards the end of March 2017. We have the Hanging Man followed by the Seven of Pentacles. So it looks like these next couple of weeks is kind of reflection, assessment, contemplation energy, taking a look at the relationship history for those of you for whom it's a relationship, the your for a job opportunity, whatever it is, buying a home too for some of you. Whatever the specific situation is, I feel like you're being advised to sit on it for just a little bit longer, in spite of the fact there seems to be a sense of urgency for it, if at all possible. For those of you for whom this is a business or job opportunity, it does feel like there's a window of a window of opportunity, like the offer is only going to be there for a certain period of time. Uh, Try not to make the decision if at all possible until closer to the actual end time because again I'm feeling strong energy about make sure this is really what you want before you proceed, because you're not going to be able to come back to the form, the way it was, which is the advice at the end. The hanging man can speak of being in stasis or limbo, or feeling like there's no movement. It can represent being in acceptance of a certain situation, a transitional energy, being at peace with that. Uh, the hanging man can also represent withdrawal from a situation or a battle or conflict, because sometimes the best way to win a battle is not to fight one at all. But I feel like for the majority of you, this is just taking the it's about not take I don't feel like you should take action, make this decision over the next couple of weeks if at all possible. I feel like this is something that will play out in April, more towards the end of March, April, because the hanging man is also paired with the seven of pentacles, which is a card of reflection and assessment. It's harvest time on this card. This woman has put a lot of effort into growing her crop. She planted the seeds, took care of it. Everything's the trees have blossomed, the fruit is grown, and now it's time to pick it. Uh, she's ready to pick, but she hasn't begun to harvest yet because she's considering. What does she have in front of her? Did she get what she thought she was going to get out of this situation, this relationship, this job? Is it worth harvesting and then just leaving? Should she harvest what's there and continue to plant the same crop, or should she harvest what's there and do something different? Or should she just leave? It's a card of reflection and assessment. Again, the implication being, because it's a Seven of Pentacles, that the harvest is pretty good. And again, I feel like whatever path that you're on, relationship or job, career, business, is a good one. And this offer or opportunity is about taking it deeper, taking it further. Um, and it doesn't appear that there's, at least now, there's not a clear yes or no. It's just about carefully considering, weighing everything out. And also timing too. Is this the right time to make this move, particularly if it's a relationship? It looks like it's going along really well. Um, but if you make this decision, wherever you're coming from, you're not going to be able to go back to if this doesn't work out. So just make sure it's really what you want. The strongest energy I'm getting loud and clear is to take this next couple of weeks, Gemini, and really think about it. Is the timing right? Is this worth taking this to the next level, the next step now? Or should I continue on this path for a while? For those of you for whom this is a job or work opportunity, same thing, because it feels like in order to take this offer, whatever you're in now, you have to leave completely. So again, just make sure it's really what you want in terms of your big picture goal, because that's the most important underlying energy here. Taking your time and making sure that this moves you closer towards your ultimate end goal. Now, your overall energy, hopefully that's not confusing, because sometimes I've got 7 or 8 different stories in my head, different things for different people. Your overall energy is the World card. Beautiful card. Major Arcana card. It represents reaching a phase of completion, either a phase of completion or a milestone. Again, where you have to decide where you're going to go from here on out. And it's also a card of taking the time to acknowledge, in a very positive way, all the efforts you've put into something, and what it's taken to get you from where you started to where you are now, and kind of giving yourself a pat on the back, feeling on top of the world. My favorite analogy for the World card is actually that you've climbed the top of a mountain. You've reached a certain pinnacle, and you're looking back over the path, and you're just taking the time to kind of look at everything that you did, good decisions, bad decisions, everything that you've learned, acknowledging yourself, giving yourself a pat on the back, and considering, okay, where do I go from here? What am I able to accomplish from here on out with whatever this is? It's a beautiful card. It's a card of empowerment as well, self-empowerment as well. So it looks like wherever you're at in this situation now, you're doing well. It's been doing well for you. It's a question of whether or not you want to take this offer or opportunity to take it deeper, take it further. Try not to make the decision actually until April if you can. But if you can't hold off that long, just make sure, again, does this fit with my big picture? Will this propel me closer to my ultimate goal? Well, Gemini, that pretty much wraps up your March 2017 mid-month reading. I hope you have enjoyed it, that it hasn't been too confusing, and that you get some insight and clarity and food for thought on how to kind of navigate your way through this. Take your time, think about it, Gemini. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the April 2017 general readings, and I will be beginning with you for April, Gemini. Thank you for your patience in waiting for this month. I know the mid-month readings, I know they were a few days late, so thank you for waiting for those. And I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the April 2017 readings. And if any of you are interested in a more specific, personal, tailored for you reading, please feel free to contact me at Maggie, the number one McGuire at gmail.com. You'll also find that email address under the description button on my YouTube channel's homepage. I will see you all soon, Gemini. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. And I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.